I feel like Los Angeles is such a cool confluence of many different cultures, many different peoples. You also have this access to nature, which is one major reason why I love it. I can go hiking or go see waterfalls, and then, also have a very urban experience. My name is Ryan Griffin, and I'm an artist working here in Los Angeles, California. As an artist, I have been exploring working with projection to essentially use the natural world as my canvas to create these looping animations that I document through video. And I'll start by hiking out kind of before the sun goes down and while there's still light, and find something cool and kind of catches my attention. I don't really have an idea of where I want to be creating, but I let kind of the inspiration of the day kind of lead me towards a certain thing, and whether it's a pile of rocks that the creek is flowing and the water is reflecting, and find something that interests me, and then I'll set up and then kind of wait for that change from sunset into dusk. It's really fascinating to be outside during that time. The change of all of the sounds and wildlife. I really enjoyed experiencing that transition. The frogs, they'll start kind of going off at a certain time. You're like, okay, frogs are going. It's they're setting the vibe with their croaking. The Arroyo Seco is one place I return to. It's easy to access. It's a very kind of dynamic waterway. The city just kind of butts up right up next to this natural environment, and it's this cool transition from the city to you're at the base of the San Gabriel Mountains and feel like you're walking into the wilderness. I'd say I have favorite things I like to project on. I like projecting on rocks. To me, they can be so animated, and they have an interesting relationship to the human scale. They're these kind of just inert objects in the landscape that have this rootedness to them. It's about this kind of communion with the natural world. What I'm drawing here is happening out there. So it's literally I'm drawing with light into the landscape. So I'll create frame by frame each element of the animation, and then play it, see how it looks. It's very flowing. I like things that kind of flow, or kind of give kind of an effervescent feeling of whether it's the motion's going up or down, or sideways or left or right, or pulsing. I'm inspired by the sound being along the creek, hearing the sounds of the water. It's a very soothing, calming feeling, just being out there, especially at night. It's exhilarating, I would say. The movements that you're doing here are being translated to a large scale, and feeling the movement of this tiny movement here is being scaled up to this kind of monumental feeling. And I kind of think of it as a loving touch with light. I am, in a way, honoring the landscape. It's not to assert my art or my ego into the natural world, but I see it more as an experience that I want to have with the natural world, and do it in an intentional and loving way. It's non-destructive. It doesn't damage anything. Respectful not to disturb any kind of ecosystem with unwanted light or those kind of factors. Through my time and my practice making art in nature, I've felt that our environment is a reflection of how we treat ourselves and each other. You can see the best and worst of those actions reflected in the environment. We're connected intimately to the natural world. Like, we are the natural world. There really is no separation between who we are and what is out there. We're on, you know, spaceship Earth, you know, we're just, but I like that idea. So like, you know, we're like, you know, these temporary travelers here on Earth, and, you know, we have this responsibility to leave it better than how we're finding it.